my glucose levels are down to the middle of the normal range.
Get
So
out of here.
just huge. So I've lost 45 pounds. That's my scale victory so far. And it, to me, it's healthy inside and out, right?
That's
People have told me I
amazing.
look great, but I'm actually
Ew.
healthy on the inside. My blood pressure is also down. So
Amazing.
great
I love it when the
stuff.
numbers back us up. You know, numbers don't lie. And
That's
you are
right.
glowing. You are glowing. Congratulations, fellow Texan.
Thank you.
You're looking amazing, and we're so
Thank
proud
you.
of you. Who else has a victory to share? Thanks for sharing, Robin. That's awesome. Anybody else wants to share? You can share an NSV, you can share a scale victory, something that you are proud of. Raise your hand and we will chat with you because this is an exciting time. We are here to celebrate you. We're here to support you. This is our family. Karen, go ahead, Karen.
Well, good evening. I am a passenger in a car, so no worries there. But I am coming back from a graduation party where there was cakes and cookies, and I can't even tell you what all there was because I did not go there. I had my water and I partake, you know what I mean. None of those things. And it's been 3 years since I've met my goal and still 90 pounds down.
That's amazing, Karen. What a victory! And it's graduation season, and we're gonna be getting a lot of invites. I'm so glad you mentioned that. And you still are 90 pounds down, a whole teenager down, basically. Look at you.
And
Woohoo! Congratulations.
and my teenager is graduating on Friday.
Oh my word! And you are living your healthiest self. So proud of you. Thank you for sharing that.
Yeah.
That is so neat. Antonia,
Hello, can you hear me?
yes, share your
Hi.
victory with us.
Well, I just wanted to share how much I love this program. About 4 years ago, I wouldn't even look in the mirror. I hated what I looked like. I would be so embarrassed. Now it's like I look in the mirror, I say, "You're beautiful, you're amazing." And you know what? There's a Spanish saying, I'm 58 years old and I don't care what I wear and what anybody says, but there's a Spanish saying, I'm going to be one of those viejas picua. Picua, I think I'm saying it right.
Yeah.
But you know what? I just
Fancy,
love this
sexy
program.
lady.
Yeah, I'm
Okay.
gonna be one of those sexy ladies. I don't care how old I am, but I love this program and
You
what
look
it has
amazing.
accomplished for me. It's amazing.
You look amazing. How much weight did you lose in total?
I originally lost about 120, but I'm on some medication that the past couple of months they're changing it. I gained back about 12 pounds, but thankfully with this program, I can take it back off.
That's right. That's right. And you're taking care of yourself. We're so proud of you. Thanks for sharing.
Thank
And
you.
you are looking like a sexy lady, mamacita. All
Thank you.
right. All right. And we have, who do we have next? Raising their hand. Norma. I think maybe Norma or Bonnie. I don't know who raised their hand.
Yeah, it's Norma. I cannot spotlight for some reason.
Norma, maybe if you can come on mute.
Norma, your video,
Oh.
once your video comes on, we should get you.
There.
I'm here.
Hi, Norma.
Hey, how are y'all from Austin? I just wanted to say that I overcame to a graduation. I did have a little bite of a cookie cake and a little bit of yogurt, but I had a stomach ache after. And so I kind of knew that, hey, that was a lot of sugar. I didn't get a big piece, but I did feel bad. But right now, the other lady, Antonia, I think she was talking about her clothes and how she felt. Before this meeting, I actually got a bag of clothes that I ordered online. And so I was like super excited that, you know, I guess my non-scale victory was that those clothes fit perfect. And I wasn't to the point where I'm like, oh God, they're tight. I got to return them, you know, or anything like that. So I was super excited about that. And then Saturday, I was out of town. I left Friday and I was worried about weighing in on Saturday, but I had told Carrie, I don't know what I'm going to do. I might not even weigh in this week. So anyway, I didn't get to leave on Thursday because the weather was bad here. We had tornadoes and all, you know, in the surrounding area. So I ended up weighing on Friday morning when I left, and to lo and behold, I lost, and I'm at 24 and a half, which I'm so close to my 30s. So super excited.
Awesome. Norma, look at you surviving graduation season and ordering clothes that fit nicely.
Exactly.
You got this, girl. You got this. Keep on going.
Thank
And we
you.
have Bonnie, I think. Bonnie, look at you, Bonnie. So beautiful.
Thank you so much. I am so excited. So June 5th is going to be my health anniversary, my first one.
Okay.
And my family and I went to Hawaii this year. We took both my sons. One was flying in from Japan and the other lives here in Independence with us. But anyway, so it was part of my why. Part of the reason I joined the program initially is because I wanted to travel, but
Right.
I felt so awful that I would never schedule it. And my husband, one day he asked, he said, you always talk about wanting to go to Hawaii. Why don't you want to go? And I said, I don't want to go looking like this.
Hmm.
And so now I'm 65 pounds down.
Woo!
And some of the things that we did, we ended up shopping and stuff one day, and I walked over 7 miles, and there is no way I would have been able to do that last year.
Wow.
We hiked, I'm going to say it wrong probably, but Manoa Falls. Anyway, we
Hey.
hiked that. We played in the water every day. We went to the beach. It was an amazing trip.
Wow, what
And
a
so-
beautiful life.
Yeah, I'm so thankful for this program.
Wow, and we're so proud of you, Bonnie. And look at that, happy health anniversary, and you're living the life that you were meant to live. Thank you for sharing that with us, and keep it up, my friend. I love hiking too, by the way, so I'm kind of jelly. Stephanie, do you want to share with us really quickly? We have less than a minute. Oh, you're on mute, I think. Yeah, try it.
You there.
There you go.
My health anniversary is also on June 5th. And I'm 5 pounds from the goal I wanted to be by then, and that would be 100 pounds. So I'm so excited, and I'm wearing a size 16 bathing suit. Last year it was a 24. So, and I'm wearing a size 14 pair of pants.
Amazing. That's
Just
amazing.
thrilled to death.
So you lost almost a whole person too.
Yeah.
Yes. That's
Couple toddlers.
amazing. Yeah, for sure. We are so proud of you. You must be so proud of yourself.
I am. I feel great too.
Awesome. Well, you're looking great, and thank you so much for sharing. We're gonna go on mute, everyone, because our pre-party is over. Or do we have time?
No, give me 1 minute, Johanna.
Yeah. We ran out of time, I think, for any more testimonies, but I'm so excited.
Johanna, you need to unmute and give me 1 minute.
Okay. Go ahead.
Okay.
Okay, everyone. We are so glad that you are here. Welcome to our Tuesday night call. We were just having a ball in our pre-party. We had a lot of testimonies. We had so many successful stories. And I'm kind of jealous of several of you that are doing really wonderful things, but this is our time to live. My name is Johanna Castillo. I'm a certified Optavia coach. And talking about health anniversaries, this July, it's going to be my 7th health anniversary of starting this program. And I was a school teacher, really struggling in my own health, and really, I couldn't do all the things that I loved. I love to travel, I love to hike, I love to swim, and I couldn't really do all of those things because of my health. And yeah, it's gonna be 7 years. That's crazy. But it's exciting to be here with you tonight. It's very exciting to be here. I lost 80 pounds, and I have a new life now. I'm no longer pre-diabetic. I no longer have to get shots in my knees. I no longer have to suffer the way I was suffering. There I am. The last picture, the one on the right, is in Peru, where I was hiking mountains. And not only hiking mountains, I actually had to climb a mountain and pull myself up and use my arm strength, which I have never been able to do. So everyone that is hiking and doing fun things, I know it feels amazing. And if you're not there yet, you're going to get there yet, because this program is it really does work, as you have seen. But we have some things to share with you tonight. We have very special guests coming on tonight. But before we do that, this is the topic, navigating cultural and family traditions in gatherings. It's a very good one because, as you heard, we have people inviting us to graduation. Summer is the time for graduations, for weddings, for trips, and for a lot of things. So we have to be prepared, right? We have to be prepared. We're gonna be talking about this income disclosure statement. I'm just gonna show this to you. When you accepted the Zoom invite, this is what it is. But I love that we're a transparent company and it shows you everything. You can go back and read it if you want to. So go ahead. We have this challenge going on. If you haven't participated, we still have time. Please participate in the Bring on Summer Challenge. It is so much fun. This is the easiest challenge you will ever participate in. All you have to do is get your phone out, open up your Facebook app, and when it says what's on your mind, write down 3 pounds, down 15 pounds, down whatever pounds. Tag your coach and say #BringOnSummer. And that will place you to participate in our contest to win $50 of wellness credits. Isn't that cool? Not only that, you're gonna get to inspire someone. I want you to remember how you felt before you started a program. And I know you didn't wanna be there, right? So share. Thank you. I see people sharing in the chat about their testimony. So I'm gonna talk about culture. And culture is really something really cool because although we are born in a culture, we don't all have culture. So it's something that it's taught, something that it's acquired. So we are taught by our families, we are taught by our environment, and it says that cultural behaviors have very important implications for our health. So as a system, we get all this knowledge passed down from our ancestors, right? Our families, our beliefs, our practices, and within those groups. And not only that type of culture, but it's the culture of where you are. Because sometimes it's your workplace culture, sometimes it's where you study, sometimes it's where you worship. So all those types of cultures come to play. And when I first started my health journey, I thought, man, the hardest thing is gonna be to, just get started, and that's gonna be the biggest thing for me to get. When I get started and I start losing, that's the biggest challenge. I thought that was gonna be my biggest challenge, but really there were other things outside of me. I thought that the biggest challenge was to overcome this inside my head, this objection, but really there were outside objectors, people that were influencing in my life and situations that were influencing that I really didn't realize it until time after time I was failing. And if you're one of those people tonight that you felt like, man, I've tried this program and I keep on restarting and I keep on failing, nice to meet you. My name is Johanna Castillo and I restarted this program more than 80 times, for real, because I would start and I would fail because I had all this belief in me, all these things that I had carried from my own culture, from my own Latino culture, but also because I live in the South, but also because I'm a teacher, but also because I serve in ministry. And then I thought that I had to please other people before taking care of myself. So culture is very, very important. And it's just something that we don't really think about. But today I want you to be really conscious about where you are, what culture you are part of, and what circles you are part of. And look at this little circle. It talks about the community, the stories, the languages. So I speak Spanish and English, but some of you, are trilingual or you speak a certain dialect, or you speak English, but you speak it in a certain accent, right? You have traditions in your house, you have rituals, you have music that you like to listen to, special food and drink that you like to eat. For example, I'm thinking of my Cajun friends. They love their Cajun food and it's delicious. And the values, right, that we transmit in culture. And so all of those things are very important for all of us. And the family is so important. For most of us, family is at the center of culture. And talking about this, I want to introduce one of my wonderful friends. She is, an example for everyone. She just graduated with her doctorate, so please congratulate her in the chat. We have a new doctor in the house, right? My friend Mecca Gordon, would you share your testimony and some tips for us?
Yeah, absolutely. Thanks, everyone. I appreciate it so much. My name is Mecca. I am a new pharmacy school graduate. I just graduated in May. And I'm also an Optavia coach and Optavia client. I started Optavia in 2021 after my first year of pharmacy school. There was a lot more stress than I thought it would be. I didn't know how to handle that much stress, and I was an emotional eater. And so by the end of that first year of pharmacy school, it was just a lot of like brain fog, and I was confused. I didn't recognize myself in the mirror, and I was like, this is not how I wanted this journey to go. And I had the privilege of speaking with my coach and getting back on program. I think that was honestly my second time on program for real. And then I started coaching in November of 2021. So I started in February of 21, coaching in November of 21, and I lost 75 pounds. And things have been a lot, learning a lot of tools on how to manage stress and get through stressful seasons and even get through exciting seasons as well. And just some of there's a lot of different cultures to be a part of. Joanna just mentioned a lot of them, but the culture of being a student and everybody wants to give you pizza all the time at every meeting. The culture of being, of working, worked at Kroger and at the hospital, and patients will bring you treats. There'll be donuts for random reasons, or people just want to order pizza for no reason, and all these other things, right? And so there's just different cultures, whether you're at work, whether you're at school, whether you're at home or with family, things that you just like to, and that you thought you liked to enjoy. I'll say it that way. But a couple of tips that I have, or a couple of things that I realize, is that you have the power to set new standards, and random acts of health are allowed. So the same way people just randomly bring in pizza, randomly bring in donuts, you can randomly bring in one of our like shareable lean and greens. And supporting others and not feeling bad for yourself when you don't take a treat or something. I won't even say a treat, sorry, wrong wording. When you don't take a donut or something, people are like, oh, I can't have that. Instead of saying, oh, I'm choosing not to have that, make sure you always say that you're choosing not to have it. I like to say either I'm allergic to it, or that last time I had it, I didn't feel too good. And like, we have a whole day of work left. And so I can't like, and have a whole other half of a shift and not feeling good. And so, yeah. And then you also can share it. Don't be afraid to share and tell people that you're on a health journey. This past week, or it was last week, I had one of my pharmacists, she was ordering something because someone was leaving and he's been a part of the team for a long time. She was like, hey, I'm ordering Chick-fil-A. Like, I know you eat healthy. Do you want fries? And I was like, actually, I don't. I'll do the kale crunch salad if that's okay. And like, we kept it going. And so I had a kale salad. Everybody else had their fries from Chick-fil-A, and it was a great time. And people think the salad looked great. People had never tried it before, and they're like, oh, I might try that next time. And so you might inspire someone to try something new as well. And then share within the Facebook communities, share with communities, go to where you're celebrated, go to where you're supported. You only have so many no's. Sometimes it's a lot of spaces to say no to. If you go to school in the morning, if you're going to work, and then the first job and the second job, wherever the spaces that you're in, sometimes you only have so many no's in the day. So make sure you're plugged into the Facebook groups and you're going to where you're supported. Because you get a lot of strength when everyone can come around you and they can say like, no, you got this, or you can read how someone else said no. You can read an extra no and gain an extra no, or an extra yes to your health rather. And then I also want to say, don't wait for anyone to make the changes for you. Don't wait for people to stop ordering pizza. Don't wait for people to go to the one salad place down the street that you like. Like, don't wait for people to do the things that you know are going to be good for you. You have to do them yourself. You have to make the choice for you. And then this time next year can look completely different. And then you'll have people joining you, and it'll be really, really great. So that's all I had. I forgot to ask for the slides, but there were slides. And yeah, thanks for letting me share, and thank you for the congrats, truly.
That's amazing, Mecca. Thank you for those wonderful tips. Yeah, we do have a wonderful slide, and Mecca touched on those. So get your phone out and take a snapshot of these tips, because you do have the power to create your new standards. And I love that tip that she gave us for free about random acts of help. That is genius. I had never thought of that. Random acts of help. Yeah, why we can bring our lean and greens. We can advocate for our own health. We can support others to make changes. I have people that are not on plan in my life, and because I share recipes on my page, they tag me all the time on healthy recipes. They use my recipes all of the time. So just because they're not on plan doesn't mean you don't get to influence them. When you share your journey, when you share your struggles and your victories within that community, that brings up a dialogue. So if I didn't share that, guess what? I'm struggling with my health, my friends wouldn't have known to connect me or to send me tips. And to be honest with you, in my Latino culture, nobody ever told me, Johanna, when I was obese, Johanna, you are obese and you are at higher risk for heart failure and for diabetes. Nobody ever said nothing about that. They did not mention anything of that. But I'm so glad that when I started to get healthy, people started maybe having a little bit of an opinion, not the opinion that I was waiting for, but it gave them a little bit of chance to open. And it just made me, when you're vulnerable and you share your story, there's no shame. There's no shame in the game. There's no shame when you get healthy. And we have to be leaders. I had to be a leader for my family, to be the loud and proud and the voice of change. My daughters are now checking nutrition labels. My daughters have leaned out and are getting stronger because they are following my lead. I am breaking generational, what I thought was like a generational curse. We had so many obese people in my family and diabetic people in my family and high blood pressure. So you are the one that can make the change. I love it. Another thing that I love, Mecca, don't wait for people to make the changes. We can't wait. We have to do it ourselves. But I have somebody else I want to introduce you tonight. She is an amazing, amazing lady. She loves karaoke and she's wonderful at karaoke, I hear. But I have my friend Terry on here. Terry, why don't you come off mute and share with us about your story and your testimony, because it's a very inspiring one. And this winter, I was working with Terry, and she's amazing, y'all.
Hi, everyone. I am so thankful to be here in order to share my journey with you all today. As Joanna mentioned, my name is Terry Harden. I'm 55 years old. I have two beautiful adult children, Eddie and Destiny, 34 and 29. I have two beautiful grandsons, Ray John and Keelan, 8 and 4. Well, today we're talking about culture. And I know we all come from different cultures. And within our cultures, there's so many different foods that we love to share, which is showing our love, right? Whether it be making that peach cobbler just the way grandma made it, or that 3-layer German chocolate cake the way my aunt made it, or that smothered pork chops with the biscuit on the side. All those things, as a culture, we do that based on our family. I grew up, I had 7 siblings, and we grew up eating all of this Southern comfort food, food that make you happy, but eventually over time, it will wear and tear on the body. And also because of the family we grew up in, it wasn't about buying the best quality food. It was more about stretching the money, so basically buying the cheaper items, which we know quality is better. However, because of not buying the best quality food, it did contribute to a lot of the early onset illnesses in my culture. Now, I will say my family is prone to having high blood pressure, high cholesterol, diabetes, cancer, strokes, heart attacks, the women being heavily overweight, and also the women dying early on. My mom actually died at the age of 40. So that was one of my major fear factors, that I would not be here for my kids or my grandkids. Now, as far as my weight, I never had a problem with weight. Growing up, I was always small. In school, in my 20s, in my 30s, I was small. It wasn't until I got into my 40s where the weight became a problem, where I just couldn't do a quick fix exercise or walk it off, right? Now, also in my family, we don't choose to go to the doctor as we should, so that's not a good thing. However, I remember the first time I found out I had high blood pressure. I had went to Sonabella. I was going there to get a free consultation on a tummy tuck. Now, you're going to hear me speak about that again, okay? And they said, Terry, you are the perfect candidate. You will have this little waist. You'll be the perfect candidate. However, we can't do anything until you get your high blood pressure under control. Well, I didn't even know I had high blood pressure. So that prompted me to go to my doctor, in which the doctor, the first thing he wanted to do was put me on medication. Well, I'm the type of person, I don't like medication. I wasn't on any medication. So I asked him, I'm like, okay, is there anything that I can do to fix this instead of taking medication? So he said, yeah, 6 months, you can do diet and exercise, come back in 6 months and we'll recheck everything. I'm like, cool. So I start exercising, I start eating better, what I thought was eating better. And I went back after 6 months, and my blood pressure was still high. Not only was my blood pressure high, the doctor told me I had high cholesterol. So he wanted to put me on another medicine. So I'm like, 2 medicines? So I started the high blood pressure medicine, but once again, me being the person that really don't want to take meds, I'm like, what can I do for this high cholesterol? He's like, diet and exercise, you would do well on a Mediterranean diet. I'm like, okay, what does that consist of? He wasn't able to tell me. He's like, well, you may want to see a nutritionist, but I'll give you 6 months. So I'm like, okay. So at that time, I took it really, really serious because I did not want to, I was having chest pains and I thought I was going to have a heart attack. I even had the doctor send me to a cardiologist and they're like, you're okay. But needless to say, I took it very seriously. I changed my eating. I was documenting everything. I was working out every day and I actually lost 20 pounds. So I was so happy to lose my little 20 pounds in 6 months. So when I went back, I'm like, okay, he's going to tell me I don't have to take this high blood pressure medicine anymore. And he's totally going to tell me I don't have to take this statin. And I did my research on the statin and it had all these negative side effects that I did not want. So I went back in after 6 months and I didn't get the results I wanted. I was so depressed. He told me that my numbers were worse than they were before. And I was like, well, how can that be? I lost 20 pounds. I've been dieting. I've been exercising. I've been, turning things around. How can that be? Yes, it was so frustrating and heartbreaking. And, through Dr. A's Habits of Health, now I know the foods that I was eating that I thought were good for me really weren't good for me. I was actually making things worse. So I was so depressed. I'm like, okay, I'm going to take this statin because I don't want to have a heart attack. I want to be here for my kids. I want to be here for my grandkids. I don't want my arteries to clog up, right? So then I started reminiscing and thinking about my mom and thinking about my aunts, how they were all overweight. And I thought, this is it. I'm in this old woman's body now. I had inflammation in my knees, in my ankles, whenever I was in the bed trying to sleep. It was aches and pains in the bed and getting out of the bed. I still felt young in my mind, but my body was totally telling me something else. So I had considered seeing a dietitian, but at that time I felt like I could not afford those sessions. I think it was $125 a session. And I'm like, how many sessions would I even have to take? So what I started to do, like I said, I got so depressed. I just stopped eating. The only thing that I would eat was cranberries and almonds. I know that wasn't the best, but that is what I like. Now, what changed? Well, one glorious day, I was on Facebook and I came across Latrice Joyner's Facebook. I hadn't seen Latrice since high school. And I'm like, oh, wow, look at Latrice. She has a nice family. Oh, and I saw her before and after picture. And I'm like, oh, she lost weight. So I will say, if you're posting on Facebook, continue to post. It's really important to brand yourself because you just do not know which picture is going to be the one that's going to change someone's life, the picture that's going to make them reach out to you for that lifeline. So I was still eating my cranberries and almonds, and then I came across my cousin Nicole Johnson's picture. Remember I said we were going to go back to that tummy tuck, right? Consultation. Well, not only she wasn't in a bathing suit, Nicole was in a bikini. Her stomach was out. So that did it for me. I'm like, hold up, wait a minute. I'm like, what is really going on? So I reached out to Nicole and Latrice, and they conducted a health assessment on me. At that time, money was not an issue. It was all about health first, avoiding having a heart attack. And I will say when they were actually doing the health assessment, it was as if they were breathing life back into me. They were giving me hope. And I had always wanted to be 150 pounds. So when they asked me, what's your goal? I went past 150 based on their pictures, based on the plan. I said, let's shoot for the moon and the stars. Let's do 140. So by that time, when I initially had went to the doctor, I was basically 200 pounds. And then remember I said I lost 20 pounds. So that put me around 180. So after I got the bad news and got on the statin, the weight started climbing back up. So before I started plan, I was at 190 pounds. Prior to getting my package, I was drinking water, just prepping to start the plan. I got down to 180. Wow. And then so amazing things just started to happen. August the 13th of 2023, I started on the 5-in-1 plan. After 30 days, the inflammation in my knees and my ankles were gone. I was no longer aching, aching while in the bed or getting up. I reached my all-time weight that I had been wanting to reach for multiple decades of 150. I reached that in 4 months on plan. I reached my goal of 140 at 5 months. And then after completing transition, I lost an additional 10 pounds. So in all, I lost 50 pounds. So I was so excited. So remember, 6 months is when I go back to the doctor. So I'm like, okay, I'm gonna go back. There's no way I should be on these meds. So the nurse told me I look like a different person. The doctor said, what did you do? I said, well, I found a plan that helped me lose 50 pounds. And he said to me, well, what do you want from me?
Wow.
You're the doctor. So I said, well, I want to get off these meds. And he said, okay, based on your numbers going down, your lab work, everything is in range. You no longer have to take the statin. And let's just reduce the blood pressure medicine and revisit it in 6 months. So basically, I was off the medicine. Yay. So look at all these amazing things that were happening. So 2 months later, I became a health coach. A month after that, I got my first client. I'm actually 3 months away from my health anniversary, so I'm so excited about that. The Life book became my personal counselor. Look at it. Okay. And the Habits of Health became my nutritionist and so much more that I thought I could not afford. And actually weighing in with my coach, that actually kept me on track. So I really feel like my life was given back to me. Now, there's one other thing I did want to share as well. I know through my journey, I would hear people say, I became a coach for accountability. Well, that didn't resonate with me during my weight loss phase because I was so laser focused and so blind, just had my blinders on losing the weight to prevent a heart attack or a stroke. it wasn't until I completed my transition and began living in optimal health that I totally understand the accountability piece. So I became a coach in April. And whenever I conduct a health assessment, to me, it's like I'm breathing life back into myself all over again. Yeah, it's like I'm giving hope to someone else and giving them life. And that is just a wonderful feeling. So I will say being a coach, I didn't think would be so amazing. I just got chills. I got chills. Okay.
Thank you, Terry. I appreciate you so much. Thank you, thank you, thank you. You did such a wonderful job sharing. I mean, I could listen to your story. Her story literally gave me life over the winter because she was on fire. So thank you for sharing. Wow, imagine breathing life into people. And she was talking about the Habits of Health book. And we found this image in the Habits of Health book. And I love it because it's a circle. Look at that, it's a circle. All of our habits of healthy weight management, they're a circle. Habits of healthy eating and hydration, of healthy movement, of healthy sleep, of healthy minds, of healthy surroundings. And guess who gets to create that circle? You do. I do. We all do. We all get to create circles of health. And so the circles that we were talking about in the beginning, remember the culture wheel? That's the circles. And so you get to create the new circles. You get to create the new Terrys. You get to inspire people like Mecca, people like Johanna, people that are desperate for health, maybe in your own community, maybe in your own family, maybe even yourself. It was me and my things as being a teacher when they took the kolaches to school, when they took the donuts to school, me learning to say, help me to my coworkers. I was telling them, please help me, I'm weak. So the social impact on our habits. When we eat with others, we know that we eat more carbohydrates, more fat, more protein, and more calories overall. That's what the studies say. So when we are socializing and we're not really focusing on what we're eating, we can graze more and we forget how much we ate. And peer pressure is very real, very, very real, depending on what part of the country we're born or what part of the world you were born. We know there's peer pressure. And for the Latina moms everywhere in the world, for the Southern moms everywhere in the world, for the church moms everywhere in the world, that peer pressure, like, man, so a way of showing love in a lot of cultures is through food. So they want to pressure you. Hey, you need to eat. My mom used to do that to me until I found this is the secret. This is the key that has saved me. I turn it back on them. So I say things like, hey, do you love me? They're like, of course. Do you want to support me? They say, of course. I say, well, then help me, because I am someone that is weak and I don't want to fall. But if you help me and you protect me, you create a circle of protection around me. And people love being protectors and love being the food blockers in my life. So you can shape your culture. And look at this. A healthy relationship will never require you to sacrifice your friends, your dreams, or your dignity. A healthy relationship, not your friends, not your spouse, not your children. No one can bully you or pressure you, not your culture, not my traditions. They cannot do that. And if you don't come from a healthy family, make sure a healthy family comes from you. I want you to put a 1 in the chat if you want to be that person that changes their generation. Put a 1 in the chat if you want to be that person that creates new circles. Guess what? You're doing it. Just by being here today, you're doing it. Thank you so much for being here today. Stay close to your coach. I want you to post that challenge tonight if you haven't done so. We want you to create new circles. And for people like Terry, like she said, she needed life breath onto her. So thank you for sharing. Thank you for being here. You guys are amazing.